Hello book lovers! The topic I'm going to discuss with you today is really important in my opinion, and I really wanted to talk about new releases because there are a lot of books coming out this spring and I'm really looking forward to reading each and every one of them. Most of these books, better to be said all of them, are the final books in trilogy/series, things like that. So if you haven't read those books already, maybe it is a good time to start now, especially if you don't like waiting for the next book to come out. If the last book is coming out now, that means that you can marathon the whole trilogy/series. Makes sense, doesn't it? The first book that is coming out is Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. And I read the first book, Daughter of Smoke and Bones, this year, and I really loved that. And as I've already told you in my Daughter of Smoke and Bones review, I would really like to read the second book, Days of Blood and Starlight. And after reading that, I'm going to read the third book when it comes out. And if I saw correctly, the third book is coming out on the April 8th, so you should go and check those books out because they're all great. And if you're not familiar what these books are about, I made a review of the Daughter of Smoke and Bone and I'm going to link it in the description box if you wanted to know more. What I can tell you now is that is full of mysterious creatures called Chimera, and there are also angels, there's also another world, so this is more like maybe even a high fantasy, so it's really interesting and the idea is unique, and the main character has blue hair. She collects teeth for these creatures and everything, so those books are really wonderful and the writing style is really unique, so I think that you are going to love those books as much as I did. And I heard that the second book is better than the third one, so it is somehow natural to expect that the third book will be even better. The second book that is coming out this spring is The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa, and that is the third book in the Immortal Rules trilogy. I think that it is called like that, and I think that it is also a final book in the trilogy. And this trilogy is really interesting. It is the first post-apocalyptic vampire book that I read, and it was really wonderful because if you know me and if you've seen any of my previous videos, then you'll know that I really like reading about vampires and I really like post-apocalyptic and dark books. So this book is about vampires, it is post-apocalyptic and it is dark. So there is nothing you could wish more from a book, right? The third new release, and this book is coming out on the 29th of April, and I think that this is my most anticipated release, and that is Sweet Reckoning by Wendy Higgins, or whatever her name is pronounced, but I really loved all her books, and I'm probably going to marathon the whole trilogy the next month. So the first one is Sweet Evil, Sweet Pearl, and the third one is Sweet Reckoning, and I really love those books. Those are my favorite angel books, because those books are basically about fallen angels and their sons and daughters, and they're about 7 deadly sins. The concept is really interesting, and the main story, it really kept me going through the whole books, and I really wanted to know what would happen at the end. I really liked the writing style, and I really loved the characters in these books, so I really can't wait for the third book to come out. And I heard great comments about the third book from the people who have already read it, and Jennifer L. Armentrout also said that the third book is phenomenal. So I love Jennifer L. Armentrout and I really appreciate her opinion, and I believe her, so the third book is going to be amazing. Let me talk about books which are coming out this May, because there are 2 books and I really can't wait for these to come out. And the first one is The One by Kiera Cass, and that is the 3rd and the final book in the Selection trilogy. And this is a kind of dystopian trilogy. At first I didn't know what to think about those books, and I thought that I wouldn't like them, so I didn't read them at first, but when I did read them, I found them really enjoyable. It is about something like a reality program. In this reality show, the prince, called Maxim, needs to find his bride. So there are 35 beautiful young women selected, and he has to choose between them, and first he has to make choice to who will be in the elite, and then there is only one, and she's going to be his queen. So I really like the concept, and it is not as dark as some other dystopian books that I've read. There's also some kind of rebellion going on. There are a lot of things going on here. This competition and all those relationships between all those girls, and how some of them couldn't stand each other, what they did to each other, some of the friendships being made and things like that. As I've said, there is also rebellion, and it is almost like reading Hunger Games, but from the point of view of capital, if that makes any sense, because we're seeing what the rich are doing, and we can't really see anything from the point of view of the poor ones, and that is why the rebellion is going on. But I think that the more about it is going to be said in the 3rd book, so I'm really looking forward to it. And those covers are gorgeous, each and every one of them, and I think that The One is my favorite so far, so I really appreciate a great cover for a book. The last, but certainly not the least, City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, and I think that you're all familiar with this book, and that you all know that is the last book of the Mortal Instruments series, and I'm really looking forward to finding out what will happen at the end, because I think that I can't really tell, and I really like the covers, so it seems really dark, and I'm a bit scared because I don't know what will happen to some of my favorite characters, and I heard that some of them will die. I'm not really sure what I think about that, but I really hope that it won't be some of the main characters, because I would be really angry and really upset if that happens. So that would be my final new release recommendation, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really wanted to do it because I have huge expectations from some of these books, and all of those trilogies are great, even though I haven't read the last books yet, but I suppose they will be great, and that I will be satisfied with the conclusion of all of these trilogies slash series. And if you did enjoy my video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to discuss something with me, leave a comment below and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.